Welcome to Secura Law Experience. I'm Luis Elizalde, founder of Secura Law. I am here with
Stephanie de la Millar.
And Eduardo Borregar.
and we have a great guest today. He's one of the best brokers in LA, one of the best brokers in Playa del Carmen, Tulum, I think.
Yes.
Kenneth Marmon.
Hi. Welcome. Thank you.
No, it's a pleasure to having you here. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
You have a long flight yesterday just to come to the podcast. That's great.
Yes. I do a lot of traveling between Los Angeles and the Riviera Maya. So I flew in last night and here for a few days, back to Los Angeles next week.
It wasn't for our podcast. I feel special, you know? Awesome. Okay. And I don't know, the podcast is, you don't have to be nervous. It's just to speak about our experience here in the real estate, or maybe know you a little bit more, that kind of thing, that idea.
All right.
So, I don't know, Eduardo, Steph, do you have any questions to start with Kenneth?
Yes, I mean, it's really interesting how you did this crossover to, yes, you are very well experienced in LA. And what brought you here? I mean, what attracted you about the market, the real estate market?
Sure. Well, I mean, I adopted my daughter in Los Angeles and did not have any intentions of moving to Mexico, but I have lots of Mexican affluent clients in Los Angeles and Beverly Hills. And they were assisting me with the adoption, and my daughter is Latina. And so they had homes in the region and suggested that we vacation down here and that we would like it. And we liked it so much that we ended up moving. So yeah, in August of 2017, we moved down here. And I just knew that I would be able to convince people in Los Angeles and other places in the United States to come to the Riviera Maya and invest, and that I would still be able to do some of my real estate still in Los Angeles. And so now I'm kind of 50-50 with my time there and here. So I have a residence there and a car here, but we prefer to be here in the Riviera Maya enjoying the weather and everything it has to offer.
Awesome. What do you like more on Riviera Maya? The weather, the beach, the cocktails? I don't know.
So, what's different about the Riviera Maya is, it's not as intense as Los Angeles. It's
That's good.
I'm not driving my daughter to school in a golf cart like I do in Puerto Aventuras in Los Angeles.
Of course.
And I'm not riding a bicycle in Los Angeles. And so
could be dangerous.
Yes, it can be very dangerous in Los Angeles. So I find that my blood pressure lowers here, and that it's a better quality of life for us.
Okay, yeah, it was the same thing for us when we decided to move here, except for Eduardo.
He has been chill
all the time.
Whole life.
Yeah, he's from here, so.
Okay, so born and raised.
Yeah, but I mean, that begs the question for me. Then your first interest here, coming down here, was to invest or just vacation, or were you thinking about those things already?
The first reason that I came here?
No, the first time that you came here, did you think about, I'm gonna buy a property, or I'm just going to vacation there? Or
the first time was just to vacation.
Okay.
And then started to realize that, hey, this is a great market down here. Great vacation rentals, good investments to be had for Americans or any other nationalities. And so as it became clear that I could work here, then I started to make plans to make the change.
That's awesome. I mean, because most experiences that we hear go something like that, right? They first come here, they get in love basically with the weather, with the warmth of what we have to offer here.
Yes.
And then they see the business side of it. And that's what drives them clearly to invest themselves or start working right away.
Yes.
Definitely.
And I think that you can do the question that you always do about the experience that they have. If you wonder, I can do it for you.
Sure. That's a good one. I mean, since you have prior experience in the US with sales, we like to ask about what is your kind of funny or weird experience, first one that you got here with could be your first sale or not, but we kind of want to hear what your experience here selling.
It's definitely different than Los Angeles. I would say that things in the United States maybe are a little more regimented. They're a little more uniform in that each state in the United States has their different laws about selling, and certainly to be licensed and get accredited and so forth. And so I find things are a little more cut and dry. They're a little more regulated, but in a good way. And that we also have an MLS in Los Angeles and in the United States.
That changed the game.
I mean, if we were able to get one here in the Riviera Maya, I think it would make everyone's jobs easier. I think that also it's better for the consumer. If the consumer knows everything that's available for sale, probably a past history of sold properties, then they can make a better educated decision about what to buy and what to pay and so forth. And since there is not that, it's
really
more
hard.
difficult to find out that information, and a little more difficult to determine everything that's available for sale and what it's for sale at. So, there's kind of a grassroots marketing campaign that you have to do down here to get your property out for everybody to know about. And in Los Angeles, the United States in general, I find that to be a little different.
And during the process, I mean, that you were expecting something with a client, and then, I don't know, they couldn't fly down.
So, I mean, I think what a lot of us expats talk about, we live in a beautiful area here, and there's a price for paradise. And so I think that price is that, every kind of deal is very different. And normally, well, I guess every deal I've done, I've gotten a power of attorney for the client to sign for them, because it always seems that there's some sort of delay or some last piece of paperwork or something that might make it difficult for them to fly in and to make everything happen on their one trip. I mean, our most recent deal, we can leave the client's name out of it, but he was a little resistance on giving me the power of attorney, but I convinced him. I was like, you can do whatever you want. I'm just trying to make it easier on you. Fly down once.
And save you money.
Yes, exactly. Sign the document, fly back, and we'll take care of the rest for you. And that's what we did. So, because there always seems to be one last piece of paperwork or some sort of delay.
Always. That's the thing that I'm thinking that you're saying, that in in US, they are more like control, schedule everything. And here we schedule everything, yes, but always something happens. Mm-hmm. If it's not the bank, if it's not the notary, if it's not the capital gain taxes, the developers, everything change all the time. And it's the thing that I'm always saying to the client, hey, you have to consider the human thinking, or the humans at the end, because, okay, we can schedule everything by the contract, but what happened with the person that is in the back of, or in charge of the trustee bank, mm-hmm. or the person that is in charge of the notary public, or the person that is in charge of the developer? We looks like everything is looking forward with the schedule that we have, but suddenly something happened, or the bank changed the policy in that moment. We have to change everything. Yeah. That kind of things is that they make unique experience with the clients. That's the huge difference that we have, and that I feel that they have to understand sometimes, that we are always looking for their benefits, and their investments, of course. But it's kind of hard that they understand all that kind of change.
And I think that, it's not that deals in the United States don't have their share of problems. Trust me, they do. I think that, excuse me, that, in California, there's one purchase agreement that everybody uses. So it's like a
template.
A 10 to 12 page template. It keeps getting longer and longer. And you fill in the different things about your deal. And so I think that the uniformity of all that makes things a little easier. And here we're creating purchase agreements after someone gives us a letter of intent. Every notary is different. Every contract is different. Where is the seller from? Where is the buyer from? Where is the money going? Is it a Mexican national that's selling or buying? Is it a trust? Is it an LLC? Like, there's just so many different variables here in Mexico than you would find in the States.
Yeah, and with that, Do you have a really fun experience that you feel like, hey, I saw the house and there is no kitchen, or something like that?
That's an interesting.
Because always you can. Finally, we have the closing. Everything goes well, and at the end, something happened, and hey, there is no bed, or someone took the TV.
Right. I'm trying to think if I've got. I mean, for my career, I definitely have funny stories. I'm trying to think down here.
Or in LA, you can, because this is the idea of this podcast is experience. So if you have an experience in LA, kind of funny.
Oh,
you can say it.
Yeah, well,
No names.
Of course.
I think there's some stories I can't even mention on air down here. I mean, showing properties to buyers and sellers, you run into all types of things, whether it's someone in the bed that's not the wife with the husband. I've run into that. Yeah. Taking a broomstick and trying to clean underwear and throw it in a closet, different things like that.
Whoa.
Drugs laying around. I've dealt with all kinds of things. There's another story.
Playa or LA?
Those are all those. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I've seen both of that. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, most recently there was a property we went into, and they were growing stuff on the roof. Now there was no actual plants in there.
Oh, okay.
But in my mind, it had to be marijuana that they were growing, but in tubes and around. And so it's like, all right, well, I think we need to get rid of your apparatuses to grow marijuana on a rooftop.
Or raise the value of the
Yeah. Right. So, we do run into interesting things. I think here, maybe in Playa, maybe it's just most interesting is like some of these new developments, how things might be a little different. You might have, a beautiful property, and then it's like a dump site next door that the developer actually,
used.
kind of put everything over there. So I think sometimes, the renderings and so forth can give you an image of a certain property, and then when it's done, it's not that way, or what's next to it is, a little different. So it's also, I think, really important to know who's building the property and what their track record is, and that they've got deep enough pockets to finish the project. In the United States, you would always have like a surety bond with a contractor, with the government, whatever, that they have X amount of money set aside that they can build this entire project without one of the units selling.
Okay.
Down here, you've got some people that are using the buyer's money to finance the whole project, and that they don't have.
Normally, the pre-sales like that.
They don't have the money laying around. So what happens if they don't sell them all? What happens if there's a pandemic? What happens if
prices go up?
Yeah,
for the construction.
Yeah, exactly.
Materials.
Or sales slow, and you've sold 80% of the building, but you don't have the money to finish it. So I also tell people it's really important to know, who's building the property and who you're, quote unquote, hopping into bed with, because it can be a nightmare. So some of the bigger developers can be a better place to park.
Sometimes, and at the beginning, yes, but sometimes the clients are, I think, because I'm not in that area, you can tell me if it's a lie, but sometimes the clients, because they see a really good deal
Opportunity,
in a pre-sale.
Yes.
They only see the renders, but they never see exactly what's going on with the developer, and maybe it's the first time that he's gonna build, but they saw a really good deal because it's a pre-sale, and
Yes.
of course, as you said, the developers need the financing or get the money from every unit that is sold.
Mm-hmm.
They use that money to build.
Yes.
So if they don't see that, the clients, I think that's the reason you are here, no? You
Yes.
tell to the client, hey, I don't think it's a really good deal, but
Yeah, that's where I think my expertise and the amount of time I've been selling real estate comes into play. I've been through up and down markets. This right before the kind of the market that we're in now, where interest rates globally are a little different. The money supply isn't as easily or cheaply accessible as it used to be. That my experience comes into play, because I've seen it to where, it might look like a good deal now. You might be able to get great returns on it, but one day you're going to want to sell it. One day you need an exit strategy. And if it's important to not only buy, like if we're talking about condominiums, buy a unit in a good building, but in a good location in that building. And so, okay, you might make some good rentals over a few years, but what if you lose $100,000, $200,000 when it comes time to sell it? Because you've got all this other kind of inventory to look at. So with my clients and my career, I'm in this for the long haul.
That's good.
I'm not in it to make a commission check next week. I'm in it to make you so happy that you are happy with your decision and that you want to refer me other clients. A lot of other companies here, agents here, and in the United States are only thinking about that one check.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I'm around long enough to know that if I allow you to buy a place that I wouldn't recommend to you, then I'm stuck trying to sell it 4 or 5 years later. And I don't want to spend every Saturday or Sunday inside your place trying to sell what I really didn't want you to buy in the first place.
So I think you just said something very, very important. So if you don't like the place,
I tell them.
that's good.
Yes.
That's good. Okay.
Because, yeah, I mean, for one, I don't want anyone to make a bad investment decision, even if I don't like you. It's not that I want you to make a bad decision. I want people to make good decisions, and I want my name to be attached to someone that's happy with their transaction.
Good.
And I will tell people, no, you're not buying that. No, I want to buy it. Well, no, but you're not going to buy it.
Yeah.
And I tell them why. And at the end of the day, that's has served me well. And, down here, there's a lot of people that just focus on pre-sales and large commissions. And then they tell people you're going to make a certain ROI on your property, yet they're not the ones doing the vacation rental management. And I think you guys know that I have a division of my corporation that does do vacation rentals, and we know what the market is bringing in. We know what it costs to run the place. We know that you've got to, take all your laundry and outsource it to a laundromat and get taken care of. And the ROIs that are being promoted by developers and some agents, you can't get.
It's unreal.
They're right. That's correct. They are not obtainable. And so then someone else will sell someone a property. They come to us for vacation rental management. I give them our, estimation on their ROI, and I don't really like your numbers. I'm like, well,
that's it.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
Yeah. Our numbers are actual.
Real.
Yeah, and so my company, we're going to focus more on buyers and sellers and doing their vacation rental management for them, as we've already set the expectation as to what they're going to get, and not selling somebody something just because the commission's high.
But that gives you an advantage.
I think so.
No, it's real. No, you don't think so. It's real. You have an advantage because you really know what is the ROA of each unit.
Yes.
That's amazing, because as you said, there is another broker that they say, hey, your ROA is going to be 10%. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Exactly. Wow, that's good.
The days of those kind of numbers are long gone, and I question if they were really ever there. Maybe that was a gross ROI. That was maybe before any expenses, any laundromat, anything. But now we have
any experience at all.
Yes, right, yeah.
Just the numbers that are in their heads. No?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And in the Riviera Maya, we're seeing a lot of inventory. And there's only so much demand. Yes, the demand has been increasing, but the amount of inventory has been increasing exponentially.
Yeah.
Which also makes people that might have a property that's 15 years old or so, and then you want to try to sell that, and you're competing with the newer construction, with the new amenities where all the roofs are on the pool, and they'll have gyms and bartenders and bars and all kinds of stuff. And so, that's tough. So it's another reason to make sure you're buying in a good building and also a good unit inside the building.
And the location.
Yeah, because you're competing with when it, let's say 80% or more of units sold here, the owner does want to vacation rent them. We do get owners that will live part-time somewhere else or full-time here, and they don't want to rent out the property, and good for you. But most people, the vacation rental arm is the last part of the equation. And selling somebody something is, who's going to vacation rental manage it, and what kind of returns are you going to get? And you're going to be competing with everybody else in your building. So don't just go and get anything in the building.
And the clients speak between them,
Yes.
because when they arrive and they go with the neighbor, hey, are you renting here? Yes. And how much is it?
Yes. And then you'll have other owners accusing others of bringing the value down in the building because they're renting it for less. When in reality, someone just has an unrealistic opinion of what it should get or what we should garner, or just keep the prices high so we get a certain type of client in here. Well, that's
It's not
gonna
gonna
work.
happen.
No,
yeah.
they're going to look on Airbnb and they're going to see everything that's an option to them, and they'll pick, the best place for their money.
And you are doing vacational rental property management here only in Playa or also Tulum? Or
We do the whole Riviera Maya. So
okay.
so from Puerto Morelos through Tulum.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Is our
Okay.
region. Yeah. So I think you guys know I'm now down in Puerto Aventuras myself, and we have numerous properties in Tulum. In fact, someone locked their self out of their unit last night, and an employee was driving down at midnight to give them a key.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so we definitely do some good properties in Tulum. I've turned down 7 different homeowners recently that wanted me to vacation rental manage their places. They're just
Not
studios without kitchens, or just studios in
Look.
general, or just, they're just, those properties are a dime a dozen and you don't make good money off of them.
yeah.
And so, yeah, we're focusing on good vacation rental properties that'll bring in a good income for the owners and us. Because some of these other properties, they're turning better into long-term rental units because there's not going to be enough money when you're paying the utility bills, the owner, and you're paying the cleaning and you're paying the laundromat. All those fees kind of eat up the income on the
Of
property.
course.
And so then those properties turn into better long-term rentals because the tenant is paying the bills and the tenant is doing the laundry, that kind of stuff. And so we're and teaching people about the best, way to make money off of their units.
And it's hard to run a vacational rental company. Yeah, right.
Yes, it is. It's it's probably 80% of our time and 20% of our income right now. So we're gonna refocus things a little bit to try to change that. But as a career-long real estate salesperson living on 100% commission, it is nice to have some money coming in each month. And down here, like I spoke about before, it's necessary to find someone to vacation rental manage your clients' properties.
Yes.
And I started mine out of necessity, as we had given it to a couple of other firms in town and they weren't doing a great job. And they didn't really know how to market to English speakers or people from other countries. And so I come to the marketing of our properties with a background from Los Angeles of marketing cool, sexy, contemporary homes. And I think that's what a lot of travelers
looking for
are wanting to see. So I'm able, to market to those type of people.
Awesome. That's good. That to give you an interesting perspective in sales.
Yeah.
Everything. Wow.
So it's a necessary component of the sales transaction down there. And I would rather us do it ourselves than somebody else. But it can't be our sole focus. We've got to focus on buyers and sellers, which we are, and we're good at it. And
Sure, that's right.
Yeah.
That's totally true.
a lot of resellers have been referred to us because I can list a property here in Mexico in the MLS in Los Angeles.
You
And
can't?
I can
Perfect.
in the out of country category. And once we do that, then the MLS in Los Angeles takes that listing global through partner websites like realtor.com, Trulia, Redfin, Zillow. These are American type sites, but these are globally promoted sites. So I can do for a seller here in Mexico more than your average agent, in that I can promote you in Los Angeles and then globally with that, as well as all your traditional marketing platforms here,
the
here in
normal,
Mexico.
you have
Extra.
the extra. Exactly. So you don't only have the perspective of vacational rental and, hey, again, ROE,
ROI.
ROI. I don't know what always.
You can, Roy.
Yeah.
Roy.
You not only have that, you also have the one in LA.
Yes.
So you are 2 steps forward everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in Los Angeles, I'm known as the Mexican realtor, so to speak. So they refer me, like anytime anyone's got anything going on in Mexico,
Go with Kenneth.
they give me a call.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yes.
good.
That's nice. And I think using the managing part of your business helps you to be steps ahead of everybody, because once you manage the property, you get to know it, and you actually have a better chance of better selling it to somebody, because you know the income, the area, what are the expenses there.
Yes.
Because when you have resales, buyers are interested in just that, right?
Yeah.
How much am I going to make? What are the expenses?
Right.
And all that, right?
Yeah, and I can give them real-time data. I mean, when we have a listing here and a buyer's agent brings their buyer in and they know that we also do vacation rental management, they get excited and want to buy through us because we could be the vacation rental manager after the sales transaction takes
2 in
place.
1, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
The complete package.
Mhm.
You know, they feel safe because you are getting the property from you, and you are gonna manage that property. And you, before you manage that property, you can already say, hey, this property is gonna have this ROI.
Yes, there you go.
You know, and that's good. Wow.
So, and,
Interesting.
we do cater a little bit to the English speaker. I mean, hence the gringo sitting here with you. But we do, also have Mexican nationals as clients as
For
well,
sure.
and a fully bilingual administrative staff. But to some, to have the experience that I have from Los Angeles and to speak a lot of their, the client's language is a real relief to them.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So we've carved out a little niche for ourselves.
That's good. That's good.
I think, and this is my opinion, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think right now the Tulum inventory is going to hurt Tulum in the near future, if it's not doing it already, because they are overbuilding this type of housing that you mentioned, that is just studios, very small, without kitchens and all
Yes.
that. So I see the market right now, it's pivoting towards Tulum is like a vacation rental stuff, very small. And here we're going through like retired people that just want to come down and live here. I don't know if
There's
if
a lot
that's
of
the
truth
case.
to what you say. Yes. We're not seeing like expats wanting to move down and live in Tulum. That's not happening. And I also think that, yes, there's a lot of inventory down there, and hopefully the Tulum airport and the Mayan train might change some of the infrastructure down there. And Tulum is a little more like a village, where Playa del Carmen is a little more like a city. So I've had people live here, go down to live in Tulum, and be like, it's really like a village. Like I really need to come back to the city for different amenities that
Basic needs.
Civilization.
yes,
Basic needs, basically, right?
Yeah, that the city has here. And Tulum's high season, I think, is a little shorter than Playa's, in that it's so driven by the ocean and the sea. And when the seaweed starts to arrive in March and if it's clogged up the beach, in April, then that affects the number of people that want to vacation rent in the area. Where if you're up here in Playa del Carmen or Puerto Aventuras, there's a lot more activities for the renter to do. So I think Tulum, by a few weeks to a month, probably is a little shorter of a high season.
Wow.
Good to know. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, because
Wow.
about Tulum, everyone's wanting to go down to the beach, into the hotel zone. And like, that's the thing to do there, right? Well, if the beach is filled with seaweed,
What'd you do?
that can be a problem. I mean, when it's not, it's stunning, it's gorgeous. It's some of the best beaches on the planet.
With seaweed, it's impossible to be one of the best.
The government will continue to try to think of ways to monetize the seaweed and get it off of our shores.
Let's see. Let's see what happens.
It's doing a little bit better.
A little bit better is true, yes. So I think, they can monetize it, turn it into the bricks to build
Sandals.
houses, sandals. Yeah. They were
Tacos.
talking about tacos. That'll be fun. But yeah, there's ways to monetize it, and they just need to figure out how to do it, because it's not going away unless we do something about it.
Definitely. And one quick question also. Could you talk about your company a little bit more? We know that you do selling and also like rentals.
Mhm.
So they
Sure.
know.
So we have 5 people on the administrative side in the company that work with our vacation rental clients and our homeowners that own those properties to promote the properties, to pay their utility bills, pay their yearly property tax bill, their HOA payments monthly, to attend meetings for them, to do all that kind of stuff. And we've got 4 others, maintenance and cleaners on full-time staff, and a couple more that we pull in for cleaning, here and there. So there's 9 people on payroll, and we're like a little family. So it's
That's
nice.
good.
Yeah, and we have a handful of exclusive listings. That's one of the things that we do when people approach us and want to use us to sell their property. We do exclusive listings. In the United States, that's 99% of any listing that you'll see is exclusive. And I see the benefit in that because I'm guaranteed a commission if I can sell your property in a certain amount of time based on the asking price that we've collectively determined is a good place to list your property at. But why would I spend money on a drone photographer and professional photography and ad campaigns and pay-per-click and Facebook and Instagram and geofencing and all these other type of ads if your neighbor can knock on your door on a Sunday and you can sell it without no agents? And so I've wasted all my time and money. By the way, if I spend that type of money and I properly market your home, then the more people that know about your house, the more people that are interested in your house, and I think the higher your sales price will be. So I think it's advantageous to the seller to have someone that will spend money like we will, and we're only going to spend it on an exclusive listing. I also think that you want one look and feel for your property and your marketing. And I've shot professional photography of something, and someone comes in with their iPhone and then they start promoting it without my permission with their iPhone pictures. And people put different prices because they want different commissions. And so you'll find the same property listed at different prices with different commissions and different photography. And you want one messaging, one clean, professional look to all of your stuff. And when you choose someone like us that does exclusive listings, we spend the money to get your property sold and for the highest dollar amount. And I think that's important. And that kind of sets
And with the correct photos and everything.
Yes. Yeah,
That's
exactly. The proper
And
lighting.
the value also.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's important. So, so there's, we've got a nice family of employees and a few vehicles that we use to kind of service our clients and take care of maintenance issues with their air conditioners, decalcifying their faucets, like doing all the things to upkeep the unit so that it's in good shape, and making sure that all their bills are paid and everything's good with their homeowners association.
Oh, those ones are a sight.
Yes. It keeps us busy, that's for sure.
Definitely. And about selling agents, is just you, or you have
No, so those administrators that I spoke about, they're all real estate agents as well. So with every listing that comes to the company, I share that with one of the administrators. So you have me and one of our sales team exclusively on that listing with you, and updating the homeowner on our progress and so forth. And I just hired a marketing company, yes, out of Los Angeles, but I saw what this individual did for the last company that I worked for. And so now he's gone off on his own and is basically an external marketing department to individual agents. And so using a platform called HubSpot, which is a CRM, which is a way to keep in touch with your clients as well as to track your sales process, and doing the marketing and promoting for the property. So we, someone comes in with each deal that they handle that transaction with me, and then I pay the marketing company to help market it and get us out there in front of the consumer for our clients. So,
wow.
Yeah.
good strategy.
Yeah, I remember the first time that I meet you, I think. I saw your schedule. You remember that
yes.
time? I don't remember exactly where was it, but when I saw it, I say, "Oh my God, you are you have everything,
Organized.
very organized, very." That's good.
You know what they say, when you want to get something done, give it to a busy person.
Yeah, exactly.
Because a busy person gets organized. So,
Yeah. Awesome.
Totally.
So, how do you feel? Do you like to be here?
It was fun. Yeah, I enjoyed being here on your podcast.
Awesome. Thank you for coming. I hope that you can come the next time. I don't know.
All right.
in the
But
future.
in the
Well, I
future.
should plug you guys a little bit in that I think it's important that you do have a good law firm in your corner, and that is you guys, and that you're all bilingual as well, so you provide a level of comfort that you can speak intelligently to clients of many nationalities and give them a sense of comfort in what they're buying in a foreign country, because you still have people that come up to me like, oh, but Americans can't buy in Mexico. I'm like, oh, yes, you can.
Exactly.
Let me show you how. And it's great to have a good law firm behind you to protect myself and my clients.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
You're welcome.
Any final
Well,
comment?
just to thank you 1,000 times more for coming down here. It's always good to see you
Thank
because
you.
you're always coming back and forth there.
Yes, true.
So just for the guys that are watching us to know about you and to use your services, and I'm sure they're going to get a great experience.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.